There's a device that I've been using called a Whoop.
Hello, and welcome back to IGOW2. I'm here in the Sugano's backyard to show off the setup for weekly challenge number 5, the Happymodel Cpt Overkill Speed Orbits. As you can see, you will need 2 poles, and you need to set those poles a minimum of 1 meter or 3 foot 3 inches apart, and then the challenge is to orbit around both of the poles and see how many orbits you can complete in 45 seconds. Let's go back to Dan and Liz to get some more information.
Thanks, field reporter Dan. I sure hope all those orbits don't make me dizzy. This is the first week where half of the remaining players are going to receive a letter.
That's right. You can remember that for future weeks with this simple rhyme. Liquor before beer, if the week is divisible by 5, only half the players will survive.
You're so clever and wonderful. I love you. This week, the featured sponsors are Happymodel and Cpt Overkill, aka Max Wolf. Happymodel is providing a Mobula 6 HD as a grand prize, and they will also be giving a random prize every 5 weeks. This week, the prize is the Crazy Bee X flight controller.
Nice. That's a 2S flight controller that has the ESC, the flight controller, and the VTX built into it.
Wow.
First one of its kind.
Sounds nice.
The other featured sponsor for the week is Cpt Overkill, aka Max Wolf, who's a patron and a longtime supporter of IGOW, and this week he's also going to be providing a US-65 bind and fly whoop to the Bubble pilot. That's going to be the pilot that gets the most number of orbits but still receives a letter because they're in the bottom half of the pilots. So if we have 290 pilots like we have right now, it will be the 146th ranked pilot. That's a fun way to give away a prize. It's like, right. It kind of sucks to be you, but hey, you get this whoop.
Yep.
So,
hey,
thanks,
better
Max.
than nothing.
Yep. Thanks, Max. All right, now let's jump into the requirements for week number 5, the Happymodel and Cpt Overkill Speed Orbits.
Requirement number 0 is that your video must be no more than 90 seconds. You must also include your pilot name when posting your video to the subreddit or when emailing your video in. And this week, we are also requiring that you include the number of orbits that you complete in the title of your subreddit post or in the email if you email us.
Requirement number 1 is that you have 2 poles and you set them at least 1 meter or 3 foot 3 inches apart from each other. So the 2 poles would stick up and then the distance between them is 1 meter. And the poles must rise vertically above the ground, at least above the height that you're going to be orbiting at.
Requirement number 2 is that you must complete as many orbits as you can in 45 seconds. You can do those in either direction. Your orbits will begin when both of your poles are lined up like this, and then you have completed 1 circle around. That is 1 orbit. Make sure that you include the number of orbits that you complete in your title of your Reddit post or in the email that you send to us.
Yep. If it wasn't obvious already, the number of orbits you complete will put you in an order, and then your ranking in that order will determine if you're in the top 50% that avoids a letter or the bottom 50% that receives a letter for the week. Requirement number 3 is that you must keep at least one of the 2 poles in your FPV view at all times during the orbits. If for any reason you lose both of the poles from your FPV view, then that orbit will not count towards your total tally. And just like a UTT, if you crash, you're able to keep going. The crash itself is a penalty. And my suggestion is to go out and just spend a pack doing as many orbits as you can as possible, and then afterwards review the video and find the chunk where you have the most orbits in 45 seconds, rather than like setting a timer and orbiting for 45 seconds and then stopping over and over again.
I would say that's really good advice. You can get locked in after 45 seconds and then really get it down instead of trying to start and stop, start and stop. As mentioned before, the number of orbits that you complete will determine your rank for this challenge. Since nobody has whooped out of the competition yet, there are currently 290 active players. That means 145 pilots will be safe and 145 pilots will be receiving a letter this week.
Remember, even if you don't feel like you've completed that many orbits, many pilots may not even submit a video, so still send something in, because even having a few orbits will put you well ahead of anyone that doesn't send in anything.
Good luck and happy whooping.
You stole my line.